Welcome back, Budget Valhalla buddies and baddies. We're going to start off today with a review. We had a rematch against Phoenix on Friday, August 22nd. Our players Mo, Chechi, and Kayla were all out during this game. Janelle led in scoring, but I also want to give a shout out to my girl Leticia for leading in rebounds with 7 boards. We ultimately lost that game 72-81. I have a question for the viewers. Leave a comment below. Where do you think the Valkyries broke down defensively in their rematch against the Mercury? We also had a game against Dallas on the road on August 24th. We had a lot of players out for that one too, y'all. We had Chechi, Tip, Mo, Carla, and Kayla out. They were all injured. Veronica had a double-double with 25 points and 13 assists. Absolutely amazing. And Kyla also had a great game. She started and scored 16 points. So congrats to her for signing to the Valkyries for the rest of the season. We love to see it. The team also held Paige Bueckers to 9 points the entire game, and we brought home the W, 90-81. We had a lot of injuries against Dallas, y'all. What's going on?
That injury count is crazy. We were missing 5 out of our 12 players. That's like an NFL team being down 22 players at once.
For this episode's WNBA 101 segment, we are going to talk about the playoffs. The WNBA currently has 13 teams, and the 8 teams with the best regular season record will make it to the playoffs, regardless of conference. Currently, the Valkyries are 19-18, which has us holding on to the 8th and final playoff spot. With only 7 games left for us this season, every game has huge implications into whether we make the playoffs or not. The 6th through 9th ranked teams are currently only separated by 2.5 games, so anything can happen in this final stretch of the season. And if the Valkyries make the playoffs, then what? Well, there are 3 playoff rounds. In the first round, teams are matched up based on seeding. Seeding is just another way of saying like ranking.
Okay.
So the first ranked team plays the 8th ranked team, or the second seed plays the 7th seed. The third seed plays the 6th seed, and so on. This means if the Valkyries retain their 8th place spot or their 8th seeding, they will most likely have a first round matchup against the Lynx, who are currently in first place and show no signs of slowing down. For the first round of the playoffs, it'll be a best of 3 series, which means the first team to win 2 games will move on to the next round. The higher seed will host the first game of the series on their home court. The second game will be hosted by the lower seed, and if necessary, the third game will be back on the higher seed's home court. The next round of the playoffs is the semifinals, which is a best of 5 series. For the best of 5 series, the first 2 games are played at the higher seed's home court. Games 3 and 4 are hosted by the lower seed, and if necessary, a game 5 would be hosted once again by the higher seed. The part that I'm most excited about is that the finals have changed from a best of 5 to a best of 7 series for this season. The first 2 games will be hosted by the higher seed, the next 2 by the lower seed, and then alternating hosts for games 5, 6, and 7. The playoffs will start on Sunday, September 14th, and run as late as October 17th, depending on how many games it takes to determine a champion. So let us know in the comments where you think the Valkyries will end up in the standings at the end of the season.
So, what do we know so far about which teams will and won't make playoffs?
So the Lynx are almost certainly going to be the top seed. They're playing great and sitting at number 1, 5 games ahead of Atlanta, who's the second seed right now. Seeds 2 through 5 will most likely be Atlanta, Vegas, Phoenix, and New York, but the exact place that they fall could change based on how the remaining games go. So far, Dallas, Chicago, and Connecticut are eliminated from the playoffs. There's no way mathematically that they'll be able to make the playoffs. So the teams we have still in the hunt are Seattle, Indiana, Golden State, Washington, and LA. They're all neck and neck, and they're fighting for the remaining 3 playoff spots. So at this point, it's anyone's game.
In other news, during our first WNBA 101 episode about the CBA, we talked about Steve Pagliuca's offer to buy the Connecticut Sun from the Mohegan Tribe for $325 million, which would have been a record-breaking sale for the WNBA. To remind everyone, Steve Pagliuca is a minority owner of the Boston Celtics. But unfortunately, the WNBA has vetoed this sale because it presumably would have entailed the Sun moving to Boston. The WNBA counter-offered to buy the team for $250 million and then immediately sell it to the group responsible for the Houston expansion team, who are already slated to join the league. Apparently, this decision is really contentious. A lot of people believe the Mohegan Tribe will not sell the team at all if they believe they're being lowballed. There was a really great article in the New York Times basically explaining the most likely reason for the veto is wanting to hold out for a much bigger expansion fee from Boston in the coming years. I'm having trouble understanding this move by the WNBA. I understand there are cities that are in line for an expansion team, but this isn't an expansion team. It's an existing franchise. The sale would be major validation for the value of this league. And I think it's bad for the WNBA on two fronts. One, the Sun has been in the news for two things in the past year: the team practicing in a community gym and splitting the gym with a Pilates class, and the Sun management denying Marina Mabrey's trade request after every single free agent, as well as the head coach, left the team before the start of the season. From the outside, it seems like the owners just do not have the resources to support the team. Side note, an indigenous tribe not having enough funds to resource their team is a whole different conversation. Which leads me, though, to the second messed up piece of this, and that's the WNBA is essentially shorting the Mohegan Tribe $75 million in this deal. This would be messed up in any situation, but especially when one participant is an indigenous tribe, it is super messed up. The sale seems like it would have fixed a lot of problems if it hadn't been vetoed. Presumably, the Sun would have owners who are better prepared to support the team, and the Mohegan Tribe sees an epic return on their investment, which was only $10 million in 2003.
Next, we're going to talk about the games we have coming up. So on August 30th, we play the Washington Mystics, and on August 31st, we play the Indiana Fever. Both games are at home. We're undefeated against both of these teams, but they're going to be crucial for the playoffs. Right now, we're in 8th place, so barely making the playoffs, and the Fever is only 2 games ahead of us. The Mystics are 2 games behind us, so a loss there could close some of the gap. For our inaugural season, honestly, I think we're doing great. I think we can pull both of these off, especially since the Fever is down by a ton of strong players. Next, it's time for our renowned prediction segment. We have our first winner because last episode, I asked everyone to guess who would score the most points against Dallas in their August 24th game, and I won because I guessed Veronica Burton.
Boo, cheater!
Cheyenne alleges that I stole her answer, which is not true. For our next prediction segment, I want each of you and our viewers to guess the type of shot that the Valkyries will score with first. Cheyenne, after you.
Thank you, Holly. Since the dealer always goes last, I will say that we're going to score a nice, easy layup to start the game.
I'm going big, 3-point shot.
Nice. I'm going to guess mid-range field goal. Alrighty, y'all. Thanks for joining us today. We can't wait to see you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you in our next episode.